Welcome to Evermore Love. Hello, lovely dreamers. If you're tuning in for the first time, a huge welcome to Evermore Love, where we spin tales that light up your heart like fireflies on a summer night. Today's story. Oh, it's a gem. The Bright Wife, crafted as a gentle graded reader at A1/A2 level to help you learn English through the magic of romance. But don't let that fool you. It's packed with feels that'll have you hooked. Imagine a love that glows brighter than the sun, facing shadows and storms, all for a forever kind of shine. Cozy up with your headphones, maybe a warm blanket, and promise me you'll watch till the very end. Your full listens make these stories possible. And friends, we're so close to that 1K subscriber milestone. If you love this, smash that subscribe, like, and share button. Let's cross it together and unlock even more heart-melting adventures. Sound good? Lights low, hearts open. Here we go. In the sleepy village of Elmwood, where golden sunlight filtered through ancient oak leaves and painted the cobblestone streets in soft hues, lived a woman named Elara. She was 26, with hair like spun sunlight, long wavy strands of honey blonde that caught the breeze like whispers from the sky. Her eyes, a bright hazel that sparkled with curiosity, always wide with wonder at the world's quiet beauties. Folks in Elmwood called her the Bright One, not just for her golden locks, but for the way she lit up every room. Elara worked as a schoolteacher at the little red brick schoolhouse on the hill, where she taught the village children to read with stories of far-off lands and brave heroes. Her laughter rang like bells during recess, and her lessons turned dusty words into living dreams. But beneath that radiant smile hid a gentle ache. Elara had grown up in a home shadowed by loss. Her father gone too soon to the sea's cruel pull, leaving her mother Mira to raise her alone with stories of love's fleeting light. "Be bright, my girl," Mira would say, her voice soft as fading embers. "But guard your heart. Love can dim the strongest flame." Elara nodded then, but as years passed, she yearned for a love that burned steady, one that matched her inner glow without scorching her wings. It was on a crisp autumn morning, when the air smelled of fallen leaves and fresh-baked apple pies from the village bakery, that Elara first saw him. Theo Blackwood, a newcomer to Elmwood, had arrived like a quiet storm, tall and lean, with dark hair tousled by the wind and eyes the color of deep forest pools, shadowed by unspoken sorrows. At 30, he was a carpenter, his hands calloused from shaping wood into homes that lasted lifetimes. He'd come from the bustling city, fleeing the noise of a broken engagement that had left him doubting his own heart. "Wood doesn't lie," he'd mutter to himself in his rented cottage, sanding planks until his arms ached, as if smoothing away the splinters of his past. Their paths crossed at the annual harvest fair, where Elmwood buzzed with laughter, hay bales stacked high, and stalls groaning under pumpkins and woven baskets. Elara was helping the children bob for apples, her simple green dress splashed with cider, cheeks flushed from the chill. Theo lingered at the edge, drawn by the joy he hadn't felt in months, his hammer forgotten in his pocket. When a little boy tumbled into a mud puddle, crying for his lost toy horse, Elara knelt without hesitation, her skirt soaking through. There, Jamie," she cooed, wiping his tears with her apron. "Lost things find their way back. Like stars at night, they're always there, just waiting for dawn." Theo watched, transfixed. In her kindness, he saw a light that pierced his gloom. Stepping forward, he carved a quick wooden horse from a scrap branch, its legs sturdy and mane flowing. "For the brave rider," he said, handing it to the boy with a shy smile. Elara looked up, her hazel eyes meeting his, and time stuttered. "That's beautiful," she breathed, her fingers brushing his as she took the toy to admire. "You made it. Just like that." "Wood listens," he replied, his voice low and warm like embers in a hearth. "It bends to the hand that knows its grain." From that spark their worlds intertwined. Days blurred into stolen moments, walks along the winding river path, where willows trailed fingers in the water and Elara pointed out hidden wildflowers. "See this one? It's called heartsease. Legend says it mends broken souls." Theo would chuckle, a rare sound that rumbled deep in his chest, and share tales of city lights that never slept. his hand finding hers amid the rustling reeds. Evenings found them at the village cafe, sipping chamomile tea by the window, her teaching him village songs on her old guitar, his rough fingers tentative on the strings. "You're bright, Ilara," he'd say one night, the lantern light dancing in his eyes. "Like the wife in those old stories, the one who chases shadows away." She blushed, heart fluttering like a caged bird. "And you're steady, Theo. Like the oak that holds the storm." Their first kiss came under a canopy of stars, on a hilltop blanket picnic. Fireflies blinked like tiny lanterns as he leaned in. His lips soft against hers, tasting of blackberries and promise. In that moment emotions swelled, joy so pure it ached, a romance blooming wild and free. Ilara felt seen, her brightness reflected in his gaze, while Theo discovered his heart could mend, piece by careful piece. But love's path was no straight river. It twisted with challenges that tested their tender bond. Winter arrived harsh that year, blanketing Elmwood in snow that muffled joys and amplified fears. Theo's past resurfaced like frostbite, a letter from his ex-fiancée Clara, pleading for reconciliation, her words dripping with regret. "You were my anchor, Theo. Come back, we can fix this." He showed it to Ilara one stormy evening, rain lashing the cottage windows like accusatory tears. Seated by the fire, its flames casting flickering shadows on the walls, he gripped her hand. "I love you, Ilara, but doubt. It creeps in. What if I'm not enough? What if my shadows dim your light?" Tears welled in her eyes, hot and unbidden, as old fears echoed her mother's warnings. "Theo, you're my dawn. But love scares me too. What if I can't be the bright wife you dream of? What if my heart flickers out?" They held each other through the night, bodies pressed close for warmth, whispers weaving vows in the dark. "We'll face it together," he murmured, kissing her forehead, the salt of her tears on his lips. Yet the letter lingered, a thorn in their paradise, pulling Theo into long hours at the workshop, hammering nails as if to nail down his resolve. Spring thawed the snow but not the chill between them. Ilara's mother, Mira, fell ill, a fever that sapped her strength, confining her to bed with coughs that rattled like dry leaves. Ilara nursed her day and night, her teacher's lessons traded for broth and bedside stories, her own light waning under exhaustion's weight. Theo was there, unwavering, chopping wood for the fire, his strong arms carrying Mira to the window for glimpses of blooming crocuses, even whittling tiny birds for her windowsill. One afternoon, as sunlight slanted through lace curtains, Mira pulled Ilara close, her voice a fragile thread. "He's good, my bright girl. Steady as the sea he fears. Don't let shadows steal your shine." That evening, with Mira sleeping peacefully, Ilara found Theo outside, carving under the apple tree's new buds. Snow had melted to mud, but his face was etched with worry. His workshop contract drying up, whispers of city jobs tempting him away. "Ilara," he said, setting down his knife, voice cracking like thin ice. "I can't lose you. But if I stay, what future do we build? Your brightness deserves more than Elmwood's quiet." She knelt beside him, mud staining her knees, and cupped his face, thumbs tracing the lines of his doubt. Heartfelt words tumbled out, raw and real. "Theo Blackwood, you are my more. We've danced through storms. Your past, my fears, mother's illness. Remember the river walks. The fireflies. That's our future. Us, carving it from wood and words, bright and steady together." Tears traced paths down her cheeks, mingling with his as he pulled her into his lap, their embrace fierce against the cooling air. "Marry me," he whispered, not with a ring but with a heart laid bare. "Be my bright wife. Let's light the world side by side." Joy crashed over them like a summer wave, sobs turning to laughter as she nodded. "Yes, yes, 1,000 times yes." They kissed under the tree, petals drifting like confetti, emotions a whirlwind of relief and rapture. Summer crowned their love in a simple village wedding, under the same oak where leaves had first whispered their names. Ilara in a gown of cream lace, embroidered with tiny sunflowers, her hair crowned with wild blooms. Theo in a vest of deep green, eyes shining brighter than she'd ever seen. Vows exchanged at sunset, the sky a canvas of pinks and golds. "I promise to hold your light, Ilara, through every shadow," he said, voice thick, slipping a wooden band, carved with their intertwined initials, onto her finger. "And I promise to warm your steadiness, Theo," she replied, tears sparkling like dew. "To be your bright wife, forever chasing dawn with you." As they danced in the square, fiddles weaving melodies with firefly lights, Elmwood cheered their union. Later, in their new cottage, Theo's hands had built it, room by room. Ilara traced his scars, their bodies entwined in sheets soft as promises. "We're home," she murmured, his heartbeat her lullaby. And in the quiet years that followed, with children's laughter echoing like bells, their love proved true. Bright, unyielding, a flame that warmed without consuming. Phew, what a glow that story left behind, right? If The Bright Wife warmed your heart and maybe taught a word or two along the way, please subscribe to Evermore Love for more enchanting tales like this. Simple yet soul-stirring, perfect for your English journey and beyond. Your support lights our path. Let's hit 1K subs and keep the romance flowing. Comment below. What's the brightest love in your life? Like, share, and watch to the end every time. It means everything. Until our next whisper of wonder, love brightly, friends. Good night.